"You're terminated. Ryan, clean out your desk." That's how she said it. No hesitation. No emotion. Just cold finality. She stood there outside the glass conference room like a stranger, arms crossed, jaw set. Not a single flicker of the woman I'd woken up beside for the last 9 years. I didn't argue, didn't raise my voice. I just stared at her. And for the first time, I truly saw her. And I realized maybe I never really had. All I'd asked for was a single day off. Just one. For my mother's surgery. A procedure that could very well be her last chance. Dana knew that. But she never truly knew my mother. Not the way I did. And she never really tried to. We met in grad school. She was brilliant. Always 2 steps ahead. Ambitious. Meticulous. She had a 5-year plan drawn out to the week. I was the steady one. Practical. Reliable. She used to say I grounded her. Said I was a calm to her storm. And I believed her. 3 years ago, Dana launched her own digital consulting firm. I left my own job to help her build it. Behind the scenes, I handled operations, logistics, the unglamorous stuff. While she took the stage, shook hands, closed deals, I made sure the machine kept running. She called us a power couple. Said we were unstoppable. But somewhere along the line, that line between work and home blurred, and kept blurring, until I couldn't tell which Dana I was waking up next to, the CEO or the woman I married. Still, I said nothing. I supported her. I told myself she was building something meaningful. Until my mom got sick. It started with fatigue. Then came the diagnosis. A rare blood disorder, aggressive and degenerative. The doctors called the surgery a long shot. But it was the only one we had. Thursday morning. That was the day. I told Dana 2 weeks ahead. I wasn't even asking, just informing. I had 20 vacation days banked. Hadn't used a single one. Her response? "That's not ideal, Ryan. We have client reviews that day." I said I'd handle everything in advance. Offered to prep the materials. Hand it off to Colin. She just tilted her head and said, "You're putting personal over the company." Again. That word sat with me for days. That night, she talked about quarterly growth and marketing funnels. I barely touched my food. Didn't argue. But something inside me shifted. On Tuesday, a calendar invite landed in my inbox. Mandatory team sync. Thursday at 10 a.m. No explanation. Just a move. A message. When I confronted her in private, she didn't flinch. If you're not at that meeting, you're making a choice professionally and personally. I looked her dead in the eye and said, "Dana, this is my mother." She folded her arms. "And this is my company." That should have been my cue to walk away. But I didn't. Instead, I buried myself in work, prepping reports, drafting briefs, recording walkthroughs. I gave Colin a checklist, made it foolproof. And Thursday morning I left. I was with my mother before the sun rose, holding her hand as they wheeled her into the OR. I waited. I hoped. I prayed. By mid-afternoon, I had 14 missed calls. Friday morning, she called me into the office, sat at the head of the conference table like a judge. "You went AWOL on the most important day of the quarter." I told her everything was handled. Colin said the meeting had gone smoothly. She didn't care. That's not the point. You disrespected the chain of command. You made it about you. And what about family? I asked, what about basic decency? Her face didn't move. "You're terminated." I stood. "You're not just my boss, Dana. You're my wife." Her reply came like ice. "Not at work. I'm not." That was the last thing she said. She turned her chair to face her laptop, and I walked out. I didn't clear my desk. Didn't pack a single box. I just left. The fallout was silent. Cold. I stayed with a friend for a few days. She never called. Never messaged. When I returned home, our house felt staged. Like a showroom. No warmth. No trace of us. Just 2 strangers who once shared a mortgage. That Sunday, she sent a formal email. Severance terms. HR approved. Black and white. No feeling. No words that mattered. What she never knew, what she never once asked, was what Thursday had really meant. It wasn't just my mother's surgery. It was a donor surgery. She was giving me part of her liver. A match confirmed in secret. A plan kept quiet even from her doctors. She nearly died giving me a second chance. And my wife fired me for it. My mom's recovery has been slow, but she's still here. We talk more now, real talk. She always told me love means showing up when it matters, even if it's inconvenient. Especially then. Dana never learned that. She still doesn't know the truth. I never replied to her email, never gave her back the key. We haven't spoken since. But here's the strange thing. Thursday, in its own way, was a good day. Not the hospital, not the pain, but the choice, the clarity. For once, I didn't let love become a transaction, not even for her.